Okay, we're here with Rod Harrison. It's 19th in March 2015. Not a lot of people planned Harro when they came up to Lake Awoonga. How underprepared do you think people were for the actual fishing there at the time when it got harder, say, not from the early years where it was easy or easier?
People didn't stop and reconcile the disparity between their ability and the capacity of the fish to learn. There's all sorts of bloody stories, the fish are gone, blah, blah, blah. But no one really stopped to have a look at their own technique or their own approach. There's a vast difference, as we know, between tidal fish and landlocked. People, very, very few, some did have a look, refine their techniques and sort of accept the fact that what they were doing at the time wasn't what the fish wanted. So, but the majority just sort of slunk off into the darkness, never to be heard of again.
It was interesting, wasn't it, though? You had to put the ego away, and as we saw in that period, that was hard to do for a lot of people, and to actually learn, and a lot of people wouldn't actually accept that the fish were actually smarter than them, and had actually got smarter over the years, which is amazing to see.
Oh, yeah, well, look, for a while, Awoonga was the most written about location in the history of Australian angling. Look at me, here I am. It was all they all wrote bloody stories about fishing, and they'd even hire guides and write a story, leave the guide right out of it, and praise themselves, pat themselves on the bloody back. And hard to believe that there's so many people have the inability to sort of, when things aren't falling into place, have the inability to look at what they're doing. It's always something else.
And it was funny because in that period, you often ask people, what do you want to get out of fishing? What are you doing? And no one actually thought they needed to get better at fishing. And as we know, talking about sport, the last 10 years, you and I, Harro, you either want to be average at something and make it a pastime and don't worry about it and go for a drink, or you want to be a bit better than average, so you've got to take a bit more serious approach. And then if you want to have a professional outlook, well, then the sky's the limit with your fishing ability. You're not holding yourself back. But not a lot came at it with a sort of a more professional respect for the fish, for starters.
Definitely. Fishing has lagged with every other form of sport, as you know.